Now, here are my 6 steps to automating any sort of content or social media managing operation that you may have. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step on how I've done this in the past with my clients, and I'll give you the entire blueprint so that you can do the same. Now, you can see on screen what these systems are, but essentially what I'll be going over is the inner workings into how exactly each system functions, and I'll also be leaving you with the exact tech stack that I use in order to implement this, and also so that you know which platforms are the good ones and you don't have to spend time researching and trying out a bunch of different ones. And also show you the sort of results that you can expect once you have these systems up and running. Now, keep in mind these systems are modular, which means that together they can be something very powerful, but alone they're also nice to have. All right, without wasting any time, the first one is lead qualification and appointment setting. Now, the way that I do this is I use Typeform, which is a common questionnaire software. The way it works is that the lead fills out this form and it sort of goes through a bunch of questions like if you've worked with an agency before, the sort of customers that you have, the sort of monthly revenue that you can expect. And you need to parse all this data from Typeform into make.com. And the reason we're doing this is so that we can actually log it in Google Sheets. And what this allows you to do is to automatically aggregate by your ideal client. Now, the whole question that we're trying to answer with this lead qualification system is how do I make sure that I work with only the type of clients that I want to work with and the most ideal clients? The cool thing about the system is that it automatically takes care of that and presents you with only the highest quality of leads. You can aggregate by the monthly recurring revenue, the amount in savings that the person may have, and also you can sort based on age. So for example, if you know that, let's say, the 18 to 25 range is sort of not the ideal client that you want to work with, you can filter those out. Another cool thing that I like to add is the years that the person has been in business or the prospect has been in business. So this allows you to gauge their sort of experience when it comes to working with people and working with service providers and also hiring and all that sort of stuff. Next, we have what I like to call a client concierge. Now, a lot of people get this impression that the more clients you take on, the more busy it's going to get. And as a result, your clients may not feel that they're taken care of or that they're in good hands. And this client concierge basically solves that. What it is very simple. It's a VoiceFlow AI agent, which has been trained on your company data. So what you can do is you can take a knowledge base of your FAQs or your standard operating procedures, and you can upload that into a PDF and upload this into the knowledge base of VoiceFlow. And you can deploy this agent either on Slack or on WhatsApp. And basically what this does is it communicates and answers any questions that the client may have that don't necessarily directly need your input. And that are really just very basic questions that any sort of knowledge base can answer. And I'm pretty sure if you go on the VoiceFlow library, the template library, you'll actually find an example of this. But yeah, next we have the onboarding sequence. This is where a lot of people spend way too much time on. And this is also something that can be very easily automated. Now we need to be able to look at taking the existing onboarding sequence that you have, making it faster and more efficient. So again, I like to use Typeform for this. There are also alternatives to this platform, but I like to use Typeform. Typically, you can have 3 different modules. The first one is to send out invites to the Slack channel. So basically, you can get every single member from your client side onboarded into the correct Slack channel. Then it can also send out these invites via their email. And also, if you haven't taken payment at this point, you can go ahead and send them a automated Stripe link. And this automation, while it doesn't include an agent per se, but this automation takes care of that from start to finish. And you can also, again, log all this information and keep track of where your clients are in the onboarding stage. Now, this next one is a ad set funnel handler. This is basically an AI agent that handles all the inbound leads from the client side. So the big pain point I have here to solve is how do I manage their leads more efficiently? How do we actually follow up with those leads and make sure that we nurture 100% of those leads and try to convert as many as possible? And there are a few different ways to do this, but the way I go about it is I like to use VoiceFlow or ManyChat in order to make an AI agent that nurtures based on lead quality. So remember we talked about lead qualification at the beginning? These AI agents can actually filter by the stage that they're in. So perhaps the lead might need more questions to be answered before they're fully bought in, or if they just want to go straight to the invoice or to the payment or to the onboarding. I've built agents for clients where it can sort of dynamically make sure that the correct lead is sorted into the correct conversation flow. And then from there, they get handed off to you personally, or also just your appointment setter if you have one. And again, you can combine Make and Google Sheets in this case as well, because you can just aggregate all of this data into a spreadsheet and to see also which sort of prompts work best for your clients, because it may vary from case to case. And also collecting data at the end of all these agents is extremely important, and it's very easy to do with a Make module. and just simply hooking up your Google Sheets. And as you can see here, this is actually for one of my ecom builds that I made last year. This is a test spreadsheet, as you can call it. Basically, we're collecting first name, last name, email, phone, and then in this case, it was the purchase reconversion value. So how much that lead is actually worth to us. And this is, again, very important when we're trying to qualify leads and make sure that we only deal with, also on the client side, to make sure that they only deal with the highest form of leads. And you'll notice that on the right hand side there is a amount spent column, so you can actually, it costs a few cents to run these automations, but you can actually keep an eye on how much these are costing you every single run of the automation. And especially if you're dealing with higher volumes and higher inflow of leads, this number can pile up very, very quickly. So it is important. Now to a question that I get a lot, and also a lot of community members ask, is does AI copy have to be generic? You may have heard of the capabilities of AI copywriting or using AI to write marketing copy for you, and that copy isn't actually high caliber as you want it to be, or it's very easy to spot that it's AI generated. The best platform I found in order to use this is actually not OpenAI, so it's not ChatGPT or Google Studio. It's actually Claude. And after experimenting around a bunch, I found that there are a few prompts that work, but basically the structure is the same. And you can see here, it's all a matter of prompt engineering. So you want to first describe the role and the tone that the copywriter should have. So for example, in my case, it's direct, slightly provocative, and conversational. And we don't want to be too pushy with our prompt and our agent. We want to sort of inform them at first, and then if they express more interest, we want to slowly convert them into the buying stage. So you can pause the video and read this for yourself, but the sequence is very simple. So this is actually a prompt for a LinkedIn copy, and I'll show you the result in just a minute. So this is what it looks like, the result. You have a very short but concise message that can be easily copy pasted into your Twitter account. If you're running LinkedIn ads, if you're running Facebook text-based ads as well, this can very easily be copied onto these platforms. And again, you can read the quality of this, and it's not as artificial or it's not as generic as most of the copy out there. So it's just a matter of prompt engineering. It's just learning how to tell AI the exact sort of output that you want it, and also adding example helps. So for example, if you have like 10 of your amazing like copies, you can actually upload those into the agent itself and have it say, use these as reference, basically. Now, next we go onto a system that I devised, which is called AI Automated Client Reporting. Now, you may have heard of traditional client, or you may be doing traditional client reporting, which is basically at the end of each week or at the end of each month, you basically send the client a PDF or a report or summary of the KPIs, the performances that month, and the sort of next steps from there, and then completely focus on those high leverage tasks that you want to be performing, and instead of working as an employee in your own business. Now, this one's actually similar to the one I made for one of my clients a while ago. So what this does is basically it pulls telemetry data from Facebook Ads Manager and basically takes that and then compiles it into a nice message for you to read at a glance. You also have instant overview on your live KPIs. So you can call this agent multiple times during the day. This agent will actually pull the latest data from your advertising platforms. And I mean, you can see here, it gives you things like ad spend, click-through rate, the most important KPIs, basically, unique link clicks and ROAS as well. And I say agent, which is very important. It's not a chatbot, right? At the end, you can see it also says if you need further insights or analysis on these campaigns, feel free to ask. So it's like a conversational agent. And the distinction here is that it's not a chatbot. It's not a static question-answer dynamic. It's more like you can have it summarize or you can have it sort by the highest performing ROAS, for example. So it is a very dynamic way of pulling data from your reporting sheets. All right, you now have all the answers in front of you. Now, these 6 questions that I answered are actually the most common pain points that I experience when I'm working with clients, when I have my consulting clients on the sort of problems that they describe in the marketing realm. And if you have any questions on your side, you can reach out to me completely for free. I'll be more than happy to answer any other questions that you may have. I hope you found value in this video, and I would like to thank you for your time.